They say a man can hear the voice of God in silence. But what if the voice that calls your name wears perfume and red lipstick? Matteo had just arrived in Turin, a rising seminarian in his final year, assigned to St. Lucia parish for apostolic work. He stepped into the mission like a soldier to a battlefield, cassock pressed, Bible in hand, gaze lifted heavenward. Then came her. Lucia was the first thing to challenge his rhythm. She wasn't dressed like the others, red coat, high boots, hair that tumbled freely. Her eyes, dark and unreadable, carried stories she never told. She volunteered at the parish soup kitchen, but never stayed for Mass. The first day, she looked at him and said, "You're too handsome to hide behind a collar." He flushed. "It's not about hiding, it's about surrender." She smirked, unimpressed. "So you've surrendered your heart already?" Matteo didn't answer, but that night his prayers were restless. In the weeks that followed, they worked together almost daily. She laughed at his awkwardness. He admired her fearlessness. She teased. He retreated. But there were glances he couldn't forget. Times he'd catch her watching him, as if peeling back the layers of his soul. One evening, as they walked home after evening service, Lucia opened up. "I used to sing in Florence, opera, spotlight. I thought that made me strong. But the man I loved didn't care for strength, only control. He broke me." She looked away, eyes glassy. "I don't sing anymore." Matteo's heart twisted. "You should." "No." Her voice cracked. "I'm done giving my voice to people who don't deserve it." They stopped walking. Silence stretched between them. Something unsaid passed like a spark. That night, he dreamt of her. Lucia standing at an altar dressed not in white, but in red, like a flame burning against marble. He woke in sweat, his rosary tangled in his fingers. Days passed, he fasted, prayed harder, went to confession twice, but nothing cleansed the weight in his chest. And then came that night. The parish held a small fundraiser, a concert. Somehow, Lucia agreed to sing. She stood before a small crowd, hesitant, clutching the microphone like it might bite. Then her voice broke free. It was like time stopped. Her song wasn't polished. It was raw, cracked with pain, full of truth. Matteo didn't hear notes. He heard her. And in the middle of it, she looked at him. Only him. Later, after everyone had left, they found themselves walking again, this time slower. The rain started just as they passed an old stone archway. She turned to him. "Did you hear me?" she asked. "I did," he replied. "Then you know," she whispered, stepping closer. "I wasn't singing to them." She hugged him, gently, reverently, like a prayer. And for one breathless moment, he hugged her back. Then he pulled away, his hands shaking. "I can't. I've taken vows." "No, Matteo," she said, backing away. "You've chosen chains." The next morning she was gone. No calls, no note at first. Then, days later, a letter arrived, pressed between the pages of a hymnal. "I'm leaving for Paris. I was wrong to bring this to your doorstep. You're a good man, Matteo. Don't lose your heaven over someone like me. Forget me." He read it again, and again, and again. That night, Matteo went to the cathedral and fell to his knees beneath the crucifix. He wept. Not because he was angry at God, but because for the first time he felt abandoned. Not by God, but by his own heart. He confessed, not to a priest, but to himself. "I love her." The following morning, he stood in front of the rector and surrendered everything, the robes, the books, the path he had walked for 10 years. "I thought I knew my calling," he said. "Now I know it's not silence, it's her." The rector stared at him quietly, then nodded. "You found your cross, Matteo, now carry it." And so he did. He kept the cassock on out of respect, carried a small bag, boarded the first train to Paris. The train pulled away from the station, cutting through fog and vineyards and mountains. His face pressed against the glass, eyes searching for a future he couldn't name. Would she want him? Would she shut the door in his face? He didn't know, but when he found her, he would not hesitate. He would not retreat. He would kiss her again, and this time, never stop. Have you met or know someone that has experienced this? Let us know in the comments, subscribe and follow for the next chapter of Matteo and Lucia.